spoilery discussions on Suicide Squad and Star Trek Beyond. Is it better to stay at home and watch Netflix on a big TV, or do you rather go to the movies? This is the Modern Retro. I am your host, Cuba. I'm joined by Aaron and Roy.
Roy.
Yeah, hey, how we doing?
Eating bread.
Eating bread.
Eating pizza.
And beer. So, we're just ignore all the chewing and mouthful.
This is old school.
Yes, this is a rare treat, even though this will be the official first episode, hopefully, because we've recorded a couple times and have not released it. So, this will be a rarity where we all record in studio together, and harkens back to our last podcast, the Escape Pod, which no longer exists. I would say look it up, but it doesn't exist.
Nope.
You can't find it anywhere anymore?
No, it's gone.
Oh.
We took it down.
I need to start a new server and
But
put
the
it up
fans!
I mean,
the fans are here now.
The 7 fans!
They're here now.
Start a Dropbox, put them all in there, and then put it on iTunes again as that. But I don't have any of your recordings.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's just the old school.
So, we're moving on from the old and on to the new. Actually, that's what this podcast is about. Modern Retro is essentially all the stuff that we like from growing up is relevant and new again. Everything's getting remade and everything's getting rebooted. You know, geeky things are... It's cool to be geek. So, and we are your geek friends that used to not be cool, but are cool regardless. And we just gather and we talk about the week in geek and geek news and give our thoughts and opinions on things.
Okay, what do we got today?
Today we have a plethora of things.
I feel like you had that whole thing set up just so we could say the words week in geek.
I do like that little phrase. Yes.
Geek news!
Geek news. So, let's get this out of the way. First of all, we're huge Star Wars fans here, all of us. So, we'll try to not talk ad nauseum about it. But, everybody's seen the newest Rogue One trailer. The second official trailer.
Yes.
It came out, I think, last weekend or the beginning of the week. So, what do you think?
Me?
Sure, why not? I'm looking at you. Why not? Go ahead.
I liked it. I gotta say, I have my things that
I'm starting with the wrong person.
Yeah,
because you're like, no, if it's not EU, it can burn in hell.
No, that's not true. There are things I like, but you should probably talk to Aaron about it first. Get the good before you get the bad, you know?
I'm fucking excited. It looked like a war film, and I'm happy about that, because it's a Star War.
It's a Star War.
I loved everything. I liked the action, even the ridiculousnly of, I don't even know the character's name, blind Asian guy. I'll just say the blind monk with a stick, beating the shit out of stormtroopers. I mean, a little ridiculous, but still believable. Obviously, he's force sensitive. Cool. My one thing I didn't like about the trailer, I don't like that main character. Not because she's a woman, but because I feel like...
Oh, shit. Sorry. It's a bit in my throat.
You like to cloak everything, and that's the problem that I actually have. I know you said that in jest, joking, but I feel like anybody who's going to criticize this main character or their choice of the lead actress is going to get the same thing that when they said they didn't like the Ghostbusters movie, they automatically cry misogynist. It's not that. I feel like Daisy, or was it Daisy Ridley?
The Force Awakens.
I didn't have a problem with her being the main character.
Well, no, because she's adorable.
Well, it wasn't that. She was an excellent actress.
Yeah.
She was able to emote. Well, I guess it's kind of redundant to say, but she was able to emote her emotions very well.
That's what a good actor does.
Yeah, but this new actress, I feel like her face
Felicity Jones.
I feel like her face was carved out of a fucking log. There's just no emotion. There's nothing. Her lines are all deadpan. It's all, well, that's what I do. I rebel.
Yeah, it seemed a little bit redundant of episode 7. Like, you had a British girl there, and you have a British girl here.
Yeah, with the black sidekick. Yeah, which I wouldn't mind if they do it well. Maybe it's just I'm not jiving with the actress, you know. But like I said, I feel like her face was carved out of fucking stone. There's nothing there at all.
You know, oddly enough, she seems to be the main character, but I feel like she was shown the least in the trailer. At least this second trailer. You know,
they did show a lot more of the peripheral characters.
Yeah. So I mean, I definitely think it's going to be in more of an ensemble, like Dirty Dozen type thing.
I hope.
I don't know how much it's going
Ocean's
to...
11 kind of thing.
Well, I was actually thinking more Guardians of the Galaxy, where like obviously you meet Star-Lord first, and you kind of connect with him the most, probably because he's the only human, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But but you really do get to connect with all the other characters, so it turns into an ensemble movie about a quarter of the way through, halfway through. Finally, you're like, holy shit, I'm invested in all these other characters.
Right. I'm sure we're gonna find, with like a cast like this, with the basic setup of the heist. I'm sure everybody's gonna find a character that they jive with, and clearly you don't jive with her, but maybe you'll jive with Forrest Whitaker. I don't know, but
like I said, it's just her acting. There's no.
Well, I agree.
There's
I agree
nothing
that, like,
behind the fucking eyes.
In the trailer, like she's very stoic. She doesn't. You're right. She doesn't give much emotion. But I mean, I don't know how much of that is the way the character is supposed to be, or the way the actress is playing the character.
Yeah, and we have talked about stoic female characters before, and the only ones that I could really think of off the bat that carry that stoic, like a good stoic female character is kind of like when you get one, it's like a fucking gem. It's like, oh man, you can't fuck with that, I'm
looking up her filmography. I haven't seen anything she's in.
Well, that's actually probably I like that when you take the
no, she's been in a ton of stuff. Just I've never let's see.
Well, you take like
Flashbacks of a Fool.
Like you got Ripley. And then you've got, like,
Soul Boy?
Female Shepard from Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, like, the two most kick-ass females I can think of that you see a bit of emotion sometimes, but just kick at, like Clint Eastwood in a fucking skirt.
I never did the Mass Effect as the woman.
I'm doing it right now.
It's good?
Dude, she just whoops ass.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, so far I haven't really seen that much of a difference between
she's Shepard.
Femme Shep and Male Shep.
She's exactly the same with a different voice, and that's what makes it work.
Yeah.
Is that he's very stoic as a character in general. Mm-hmm. So when you pull, when you make the female that way,
like the big speeches are in like the second and third games. So I haven't I played the first game through recently as female Shepard, so I haven't. I'm like, okay, whatever, it's fine. I tried to make some different choices, but I don't know. Like, the test will be in the speeches, like that you get to do later on in the other games. And although I'm sure, you don't go 3 games with the Femme Shep. Though I don't know who voiced her, but like, and having someone who can't act or voice act.
No,
or
it's pretty tough to voice act.
But that's interesting that you bring that up, because like definitely Sigourney Weaver Ripley is like the godmother of like.
Stoic,
not
badass
even stoic,
female,
just like badass science fiction heroine.
Yeah.
Who else did you mention?
Femme Shep.
Yeah. Besides that,
Ripley.
Yeah.
That was.
Are you even listening?
That was it.
You part of this podcast?
That was it.
I had another one or two that I can't think of now off the bat. But.
It's tough. There aren't many. I mean, if you want to go like newer, is Charlize Theron in the last Mad Max movie. She was pretty badass.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yep.
What was she, like the Violator or something? I forgot what her character's
But the
name
thing
was.
is that
Furiosa.
Yes!
Imperator
Furiosa, yes.
It's kind of sad that she kicked ass. She was basically the main character of the movie and we forgot her name.
Dude, she's so badass she doesn't need a name.
I know. Soot face.
I think it was oil. Sarah. Oil. Gasoline.
Ooh.
That's what they called it.
I want to lead into the Suicide Squad with the ensemble cast type of thing, and like how this movie looks like it might do it well, where Suicide Squad.
Okay, well, sure, but that was all our thoughts on the Rogue
trailer. Star Wars first.
Right. No. I mean, yeah, I will say one final thing before we get into Suicide Squad is that it looks like a Rogue Squadron game, and I'm excited about that.
Again, I gotta say, impeccable visuals on the trailer. What's up with the tendency for when explosions go off for people to like literally flip and fly like tops?
It's the percussion, man.
No, but this is woo! Like they just fucking end over end.
Because it looks cool, and they throw in a Wilhelm scream.
There was a scene in Fringe where it's like anti-gravity bullets. When you shoot people, they'll float away. And he's like,
I never finished Fringe.
And there's like, what point is that? He's like, it looks cool.
Good news, everybody.
So yeah, I mean, Christ, I like the emotion out of the side characters more than the main character. When I don't know the character's name because I haven't been following the information as much. But when he's like, "You took our home," and he starts fucking shooting the stormtroopers, like, dude, fucking badass.
It looks like it also takes place on this one planet.
Yes.
No, it
Or
shows,
maybe
it shows
a
a few.
handful.
You think?
You've got that
Yeah.
beach planet. You've got the planet that looks like it's kind of deserty.
Yeah, it looks like the planet that a lot of it is shot on gets destroyed by the Death Star. If you break down the trailer, it shows the ship as the land is flipping over on them or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the Death Star's first test, because they say there's a weapons test imminent.
Yep.
And in A New Hope, they don't say, we're going to test this fully operational battle station. It's you see the power of the fully armed and operational battle station. So, I think it's going to be the test planet. Then maybe they go to the beach planet, and then the third act probably takes place on the Death Star.
Yep.
Is what I would
And
guess.
Darth Vader with his action scenes.
Yeah, God, they better not just throw him in. So
I think if Rebels has shown us anything, is that they know how to do Vader right.
they better
Well,
because
Dave Filoni knows how to do Vader right.
Yeah, but they all are over there's the whole thing is under Disney and Lucasfilm. It's not they're ignoring what happens in TV and vice versa. It's
I think they
all
made him an
working
executive
together.
producer on this too, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
So
yeah, they gotta show him unadulterated, just kicking ass.
Well, like the Vader Down comic.
Yeah, when he's the only one, he's like, "You're already dead men."
Yeah, he's like, all I see are dead men. It's like, yes.
Did you see that Kylo reacts to the Rogue One?
Yeah, that was
Who's playing grandfather?
Did I send that to you guys?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Grandfather?
What? You know,
Is it Hayden?
It sounded like him too, so that's pretty good.
yeah, and he just starts tearing apart the fucking the screen with his lightsaber.
So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good, despite the tons of reshoots that they said happened, which again leads us into Suicide Squad, because
Now, did they do
extensive reshoots are a scary thing, but they can also be a good thing.
With
Yeah.
Disney and Marvel, I think it's a good thing. Like Lucasfilm, that whole storytelling is their business.
Did the reshoots were they? I heard through the internet, so that tells you how much this fucking has weight behind it. That it was it because the movie was too dark?
That's the rumor.
It was just too graphic and violent.
I don't know if it was too graphic and violent. They were just saying it was too dark, so the reshoots were to kind of lighten it up a little bit. But I don't. Again, that's rumor. I don't know how much of that is true. And you know what? I have no problem with that if it's done right, because I don't want to see a completely sullen and down Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
I love the movie Full Metal Jacket, but I don't want a Full Metal Jacket Star Wars movie with
do.
no humor.
Oh yeah, you gotta have a little bit of
But
humor.
the whole first fucking half of that movie was humor.
Yeah, I mean, not that was racist unintentional humor, but
Okay, granted.
That robot looks like he's gonna be a lot of quippy lines,
right.
almost like the one from Old Republic where he's like, "Hello, meatbag."
Oh, HK-47.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe the reshoots are more quippy lines from the robot. Clearly, some of the reshoots were have Forrest Whitaker have hair, and I don't know, because the first trailer he had no hair, and now in this trailer he's got hair.
See, now if George Lucas was still in control, can we use the CGI to fix his stroke face? That's exactly what they do. They'd fucking.
He's got a drooping eye. I don't know if Post missed that, but they need to lift it.
The only other thing that I'm not a fan of about this trailer, or I guess you could say movie in general, is I was really excited when they first said that there's. I know you're gonna pick me apart on the details, but they said there's no Jedi. No Jedi in this movie. You will not see a lightsaber, Obviously, we'll see Darth Vader's, but he's not a Jedi. But, and I was like, holy shit, this is independent of any of the Jedi Force stuff. Now, there's a whole planet that's was it Jedha?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Jedha.
Right.
So I'll just say Jedha.
the Force is the religion of the planet.
Yeah, so it's kind of like he's like, all is with the Force wills it. So I'm like,
Yeah, but it's Star Wars.
That's
You
not
can't.
a Jedi.
You can't.
I know, that's why I was saying you guys
Yeah.
are going to pick me apart on it, but.
You can't complain. There won't be a Jedi. They'll just be maybe he's force sensitive, maybe he's not. Maybe he just believes in the Force so much that he just literally blindly walks into shit and just kicks ass. I don't know, but I have no problem with it because that connects it back to Star Wars. You can't have a Star Wars movie with like no mention of the Force whatsoever.
If they blow it up, then it kind of works in their favor because then, like, if you have a whole planet that's all Force sensitives,
not Force sensitive.
Jedi's their religion.
The Force is their religion.
Fucking Australia planet. Then, and they blow that up, then it flows into the rest of the movie.
Okay, if they blow it up, I'll like it. But it just sounds. I don't know. It's just a little hacky in my like. Vader has killed all the Jedi and wiped out, and it's just fucking planet that is the religion. Like, come on. No. They're all Force sensitive. Why else would they go there? It's supposed to be what I read. It's a quote unquote haven for Force sensitives. Well, that's what I read.
Either way,
it's a little hacky to bring that up.
And you know what? And to think that the Empire destroyed all the Jedi is just believing their propaganda. Okay. It's just not possible.
Okay.
So, let's get into Suicide Squad. You saw Suicide Squad, Aaron.
Yeah, speaking of ensemble casts and terrible movies.
Yes?
Awful.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't awful. It was okay. It's definitely a worth seeing.
Everybody's like all the
better than Ghostbusters?
Oh, dude, almost
everything. Every movie this summer has been aggressively mediocre. They've all been the same movie. Ninja Turtles was the same movie as this movie. Ghostbusters was the same movie as that movie, and now Suicide Squad is the trifecta with these beams going into the sky, opening up a thing in New York, and people have to stop it.
Was there wah 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 like that dubstep noise? Because I feel every movie's doing that now too. It's like a beam of light and then dubstep.
Because the villain who was what was her name?
You got Pinky out on that bit.
Enchantress. She does this weird wavy thing with her arms, so she's basically dancing to dubstep. I'm sure the original cut had dubstep in it, and she was just moving around. But the first half an hour of this movie, they tried to go very Guardians of the Galaxy with it. Everyone has their own cool music intro and a backstory a little bit. And okay, I can get behind this. I don't know why everyone said this was so bad. And then all of a sudden, it goes from that to they're parked outside New York City and they have to stop this laser beam. And you're like, there was no Act 2 to this movie. We went from introductions to let's throw them into this fucking pit of destruction with weird eyeball black villains putties. Exactly. So you had one character which immediately dies. I won't say who it is, but they're oh, here's this guy. He comes out of the truck. He has no backstory. From what I heard, it got cut. But
I heard there's a lot of cutting and reshooting for this movie. Yeah.
he was just there to be the example, and he died immediately.
Right, because they put a chip in their brain, and if they disobey, it blows them up. Right.
Yeah. And if you thought this movie was okay, or if this movie left you wanting more Suicide Squad, then see Assault on Arkham, the animated one, because I hear that's an amazing one.
Well, their animated ones, they're knocking out of the park.
Yeah, DC should just stick with the fucking animated movies, man.
But Will Smith played Deadshot, and he was a serviceable Deadshot. I mean,
I heard he was a bright point. Strangely, you thought the only thing that people had a problem was he took his mask off.
Yeah.
But when you're Will Smith and you want that FaceTime on the screen,
right? You don't hire Will Smith and you put a mask on him.
Not only that, but how are you going to pin those fucking ears back behind that fucking mask?
The only problem with that is that Will Smith is very charismatic. I don't think Deadshot would be as charismatic as that character. So the other main character, who was this drill sergeant who was supposed to be overseeing the mission, he was played by the dullest motherfucker I've ever seen. He was just we need to go. I love Enchantress. I don't believe your motivations at all, sir. Will Smith should have played that character, and that character should have played Deadshot. It would have worked out a lot better. The shining point in this movie was Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
That's what I
100%. She fucking nailed it. She played the crazy... and she threw in those "Hey, Mr. J," the Dude, accent kind of shit. It was amazing.
It's almost trashy New Jersey, Mr. J. It's
it's
I just found out she's Australian too. She was on.
What do you don't think she's?
It's not New Jersey. That's a Brooklyn thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a New Jersey, New York. Dude,
there's the line there.
But they're separated by a fucking bridge.
Yeah, and you'll get your ass kicked in New York if you call them New Jersey.
They sound the same to me.
She was the best part of that movie by far.
How many girls do you think are going to dress like that this year?
Oh, dude, have you seen any of the last any con this summer? They're all dressing like that.
Like, if you had an issue with like her costume in general, like it's not quite Harley Quinn, but it's like a crazy, like, I don't know.
I'm not a fan of it.
They do throw in a scene with, like, they're having this whole montage scene of like how the Joker and Harley Quinn are the king and queen of the underworld and something like that, and they had that cover. They basically recreated that cover where she's in full what do you call it? The Joker, the jester, like red and black, and she's like doing that like behind the head, like grabbing the Joker while he's behind her and smiling and stuff like that. I was like, oh, nice, you threw that in there, good. Yeah. And it looks fucking killer. But they definitely should have went with like an Arkham Asylum kind of Harley Quinn, I think, for sure. But and they show her with like a mallet at one point. And like, you should have had that the whole fucking movie, not this stupid baseball bat bullshit.
Yeah. What are you, Negan?
Joker, everyone's like, oh, wait and see, he wasn't in it enough.
This is what I want to hear.
He was in it enough to know that I fucking hated him. Okay? Like, if you want to see who, like, the trailers will show you, but if you want to see more of who that character is or who he's trying to portray, then, portray, I should say, who he's trying to portray is Ninja from Diantwood. These are the dudes that were in Chappie movie.
I think you freaky. Yeah, dude, I fucking love Diantwood.
Yeah. Absolutely ninja. Like, there's a point where he walks in with, like, a crocodile purple leather coat, and you just see his tattoos and stuff like that. I'm like, I can't not see Ninja, because he's got the shaved head, like, on the sides, only it's green.
Dude, now that you fucking say that, dude, I can totally see it.
It's blatant. It's so fucking blatant. And then there's a point where they're walking, and this is in the trailer, when they're walking through the streets, and there's a window display. And it's all, like, these cool, like, drawn characters in the display. When she breaks the window, steals a purse out of Harley Quinn. That fucking display is from their music video. So it's like they're stealing from it. They blatantly kind of like artistically say that we're stealing from you.
Wow.
Yeah. And Diantwood called them out because like, we didn't give you permission to fucking do this, you bastards. But
that's like the big controversy of the movie is Jared Leto says that like he feels he was tricked into playing the role of the Joker because of the reshoots and everything. I guess they cut like almost all of his scenes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the trailer makes you think that the Joker is kind of the bad guy, which would have been great.
Right, that's what I thought. Like from watching the initial trailer, I'm like, oh, okay, so the Suicide Squad is on a mission to stop the Joker from doing something.
Exactly. Now that you say that, yeah, because there was a point where they say like, not good, not good, not good, and then you hear like,
and he comes
Joker
walking
laugh.
in,
Yeah, but I guess through the reshoots they cut like his role significantly, and so the report is he hasn't actually seen the movie yet, but he is upset and disappointed because he claims that like they lied to him. They pitched him like, hey, yo, be part of this movie. This is your role, and they made him a much bigger part of the movie, and then cut it all out. And to the point where I guess there's talk that he might not come back as the Joker for the Batman movie.
I mean, good, because I hated that fucking Joker. I really did.
Well, besides being Ninja, or like where the like other downsides, like I guess who's your favorite Joker?
By far, right now, it's obviously the last Joker. Fucking what's his name?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, but he also took his performance from a musician. Like if the musician that he chose, I can't remember his name right now, but if you watch that musician, he does like the same like, let me show you what I get. Like,
Tom Waits.
Yeah.
I think the best like media portrayal of the Joker is Mark Hamill. Is the animated
Well, I mean,
Joker.
obviously, I'm talking live action.
Nah, fuck live action. You got to throw in the animated Joker in line with all Jokers on television or movie.
Then him by far, without a doubt.
Because that was the perfect blend of clown and psychopath.
Exactly.
Yeah, but the problem is that you're not going to be able to find someone unless what's his name from that I sent you from Boondocks saying he was in a bunch of other stuff. He was the detective.
William Dafoe.
He should be the
I've shown you the pictures,
that would
right?
be fantastic.
You guys saw the pictures. He is the perfect. It is criminal that he is not. He has that like when you think like, oh shit, you're never going to be able to find somebody with those giant teeth and that chin and the mouth and the jaw.
Yeah.
And William Dafoe has it.
He's got like the wrinkles that like
he's got an upside down triangle when he smiles with his teeth.
Well, that meme like where they painted his face white and painted him exactly like the Joker from Arkham City, and he looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But if they did that, then he would definitely be my favorite Joker, I think, by far.
So give us a rundown of how he fucked the Joker up, how he wasn't good.
So, it's like the Joker is on acid the entire time. Like, they say, oh, it's a Joker we've never seen before. He's like Mob Boss Joker. But he's not even Mob Boss Joker.
No, that was Jack Nicholson, Mob Boss Joker.
Yeah, that was Mob Boss. This is like... I don't clearly know what's going on. I'm just kind of smiling like this, and there's no point to it. And they zoom in on his teeth just over and over again. You're like, I get it. He has a grill.
That grill's so stupid.
But... you don't even get his motivation, like, at all, and that could be because of the scenes that they cut, but there's a scene where, again, they're talking about Harley Quinn and Joker being the king and queen, and, like, they show them in a club, and they show them in all these different places, and he's just, like, he has no presence, I should say. Like, he looks goofy as shit, but he has no presence on screen, and it bothers the shit out of me.
Is he, like, funny? Is he like?
No.
Does he tell jokes? Does he do anything that like a sick, twisted type of joke thing that the Joker would do?
If he did, I didn't remember him. That's how forgettable. He was fucking forgettable. Only he reminded me of Ninja, so he reminds me of Ninja. That's it. Makes me want to watch a die.
What about the laugh? Did he have a? I mean, because every person who portrays the Joker has like a laugh that they make up for the character.
So the one point in the laugh, as you saw it in the trailer, is where it's like that's his best laugh. Every other time he's laughing, like when he's shooting his the machine gun in the trailer from the helicopter, he's like like he's just deliberately opening his mouth and showing his teeth for no reason. Like there's no real.
He's got a grill. Zoom in.
Yep. And he's like like that's. It was awful.
And I gotta say, I hate how he has the Joker smile tatted on his hand.
That was actually kind of cool though, because like when he there's one scene where he has a hostage. And he, like, covers up his mouth to make him shut up, but you see the giant smile on his hand. I'm like, oh, like, the imagery with it is really good.
Yeah, I'd rather he just dosed a hostage in Smilex.
Yeah.
Or whatever it's called, right? It's called Smilex?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So besides Harley Quinn, there's no real reason to see this movie. Like, you'd think that it's a bad guy movie. There should be, and it's directed by the guy who did Training Day. So it should have a dark kind of tone to it. And I think it originally did if they were actually going after Joker as the main villain.
Again, that's part of the reshoots, is that I think they reshot half the movie to lighten it up.
Well, it's not even the fact that they needed to lighten it up, like with jokes and stuff like that, but if they kept the fact that they were villains and they did villainous things other than breaking a window to steal a fucking purse, then it would have been a little bit better. And if they went after the Joker, that's a very, like, plausible mission that you'd send this group after to stop the Joker and then have Harley Quinn kind of fuck it up.
That would have been really cool, because then you would see her kind of torn between, well, I don't want to get my fucking head blown off by not listening to Amanda Waller, but Mr. J.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, they had him go after this, like, these two gods that were opening up the fucking universe.
Why do you send Harley Quinn to go after gods?
Exactly. Like, none of them did anything, like, stand outish where it was like, I think Will Smith, he had that one scene where he's, like, jumping on the car and he's shooting all the putties. That's it. Everything else was like...
What about Kick and Wing? He could climb really good, I heard.
He died.
Who?
He's like, as soon as...
Kick and Wing from Joe Dirt. He was one of the bad guys.
I got you.
He immediately died. He got out of the car, and then he went to go shoot off, and they blew his head off, and that was it. But, they went after these gods, and spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, they just, like, launched an explosive in the wind tunnel tornado light beam thing, and that was the end. Like, you couldn't send heroes or even, like, just drop a fucking bomb in there or something, like... It was so stupid.
Right, what? Isn't the Suicide Squad supposed to be kind of like for like covert missions?
It's like special ops.
Yeah. All of New York turned into putties. It was so stupid.
Sounds like Ghostbusters.
Amanda Waller, the first 30 minutes, fucking amazing.
She seemed like she had the look.
She was, and she could have been like...
She was short and heavy set in this one, right? Wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean...
Because I remember we watched, when she was in something, they showed her, and she was like tall and thin.
Oh, really?
Oh, it was, was it Supergirl or Flash or Arrow? It's one of those.
I think it was Arrow, and she just did not. You need somebody who's like fucking 4 feet tall, 4 feet wide, short, curly, tight hair, dark skin, and just
Sam Jackson
and
eyes.
just a presence. She's like, I will kill you with a fucking look.
Shit, I'm intimidated by the one that was in the Justice League cartoons.
Even Batman was. He snuck up on her. He snuck up on the bitch when she was in the shower, and she was like, "Okay, there, Bruce," and he was like, "Wait, what?" like even then, she was in the shower, her most vulnerable, and even then, she was able to throw a little jab at Batman.
Right.
You know, like. So, but I guess she did something really uncharacteristic where she had her own men. She had her own men killed or something, and it like didn't seem very characteristic.
Yeah,
of her.
that was the one part that you were like, what the fuck? Like, basically, she's awesome and like very strategic throughout the whole movie, and then at the very end, she's like, okay, we gotta go. She stayed in the city while it was being torn apart by putties, which was stupid. But you find that after the fact. Like, they don't actually show that at all.
Okay.
And then, once they wipe the drives or whatever, she shoots, like, 10 people in the head and said, oh, they didn't have clearance, and then walks away. You're like, that's...
Why were they in the room in the first place?
Exactly. They don't explain it.
Did they just do that to make her, like, more edgy?
Probably. What they should have done, if they were actually good writers, you have the Joker as the main character. Once he's out of the way, then you have Amanda Waller as, like, the bigger baddie.
Yeah.
Who that's what... Like Mass Effect did, where you think it's the baddie, but then there's a way bigger baddie behind the scenes that you have to go after. I mean, all in all, I say definitely see it, but...
Really?
Yes, I definitely say see it.
Okay.
It's worth a watch, but like a Netflix watch.
Right. Not in the movie theater type.
Not in the movie theater. Maybe dollar movie.
Yeah. See, I'm having a real...
so-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say to our new listeners, which is everybody, because
Our new guests.
Our new guests, our new listeners, which is everybody, because this is your first episode. We have a rating system here for movies that we watch in theaters, which isn't all of them, but the ones that we get to.
1 to 10?
Yes, it's how many fucks are given in the making of this movie. So how many fucks would you give this?
I'm gonna give this...
It goes from
0 to 10.
0 to 10 fucks, and usually we call high ones a whole bucket of fucks.
Yeah, if it exceeds $10, if they gave so much love and care and attention to this movie that like the movie should take a pregnancy test, that's a bucket of fucks.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 5 very aggressively mediocre fucks. Okay?
Damn.
Wow.
It's straight down the middle.
Just a lot of heavy petting.
Just a lot of heavy petting. No,
a lot of hugging, heavy petting, maybe nuzzling on the neck, a quick insertion, and then and then you're done.
There's other movies that have done this right with no-name characters like Guardians of the Galaxy. They did it right. You should have fucking followed that kind of scenario.
It seems like that's what they tried to do, but...
No.
I feel like DC tries to do everything and just really falls flat with it.
Yeah, DC is not the best right now.
Yeah, you guys are looking at me. I got nothing to add.
we gotta have a follow up on this with a superfan Pat at some point.
He's pretty convinced that, say, like Dawn of Justice. He thinks that I keep telling him, man, I think they're doing it the wrong way. They starting off with huge event instead of building their way up, and he keeps saying, oh well, Marvel didn't do it on purpose. They did it on accident. I said, okay, well,
yeah, and it worked out very well.
Yeah, okay, well, so they fell into a fucking pile of shit and walked out smelling like roses. Doesn't mean that it didn't work out fucking well.
Yeah.
You know, I said, you can't start off with the biggest events. You gotta build towards those things.
Right, like, the first Iron Man wasn't a world, like, threatening event.
Right.
It was just a threatening Tony Stark event.
They didn't break out. They didn't show Thanos in, like, the second movie.
Right, and then, so it was Iron Man, then they went with, Thor, right? Was Thor next?
Yep.
And again, that wasn't... The first Thor was not a world-threatening event.
No. It was just Loki.
It was... Yeah, he was just...
They were more personal.
He was destroying shit in the desert.
Or was it Captain America?
No. Well, Captain America was World War II, so that is inherently a worldwide threat. But, yeah, I mean, that one you give a bye to.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the first world threat wasn't until the Avengers movie. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, DC, like... Yeah, with the Man of Steel, I get it, it's Superman, so you kind of sort of have to start with a world threat almost, but not really, because maybe it's unfair to compare the two, but the classic Christopher Reeves movie, it was Lex Luthor trying to make new real estate in California was the main threat. And the world, the threat that threatened the whole world wasn't until Superman 2, when you have the three prisoners from the Shadow Zone. There's only one Zod.
The only thing
there's not several Zods.
The only thing that I can say that can save the DCU, save it, by starting from the beginning. But no, it's not too late. They've made some great decisions, like with Harley. Batfleck is fucking amazing. The only reason to see Justice League is the Batman scene where he takes everyone out in the warehouse. That thing is straight out of Arkham Asylum.
I'd rather just play Arkham games.
It's phenomenal. Did you see it?
I did not see the movie because I had this.
No,
problem.
but you saw.
I'll just show you that one scene.
Saw the clip.
Oh yeah. I saw the one scene. So.
Okay. Like, Superman is. He's good casting if he actually was allowed to emote. I don't think he is.
No, I don't think he can. I saw pictures of him at, like, the red carpet, and then, like, these other events. He's got the same... The actor has the same stoic face.
So would you say that it's like his face was chopped out of wood?
I would say... I would say his...
Superman.
I would say Felicity Jones?
No, I would say his face is like a man of steel.
So it was chipped out of steel, okay.
Well,
no, because the dude who plays Aquaman, Khal Drogo, like, that dude has fun. I follow him on Instagram. That dude is living life.
Dude, that moment when he's, like, hitting that bottle and just throws it down.
Oh, and the Justice League trailer?
To the White Stripes song?
Yeah.
Dude, just like, oh, fuck yeah.
He looks like he's going to be the funnest part of Justice League. But I saw, like, a picture of, I think it was, I think it was for the Suicide Squad premiere. They had, what's his name? Henry Cavill, whatever. Fake Superman.
Cavill.
He's on the red carpet, and he's sitting there, like, not really smiling, but smiling for, like, a picture, and, like, he looks so boring. Just like so like he does in the movies, like the Superman movies, and then like there's like a progression of pictures of Aquaman, Khal Drogo, sneaking up behind him and like giving him this like big crazy bear hug from behind, and he's got a big smile on his face and he's laughing, and even when Superman turns to look at him, he's still not smiling. Well, it's like, dude,
he was in another movie, Man from U.N.C.L.E., where he was a spy, and he had to be very charismatic and likable. He was, he had that, like, peppy smile, like, hello, like, very James Bondy kind of smoothness to him.
It must have been painful for him.
But that's what Superman needs, is, like, that stiff happiness. That's all I can say. But for them to fix this DCU and make these shitty ones kind of work, is if this Justice League movie opens up a portal to the real universe, and you find out that this is the dark universe. So
this is an Elseworlds story?
Yes, because
this is Injustice.
Because Batman has that dream or whatever where he wakes up and Superman is like this dictator kind of guy, right? Mm-hmm. And that goes back to Injustice, the video game, where
they won't do it though.
Where Lois Lane gets killed. It would they won't do it.
It's too deep.
For
DC.
It's too decent of writing for DC But if they actually did that in like the third movie or the fourth movie, whenever the Justice League movie comes out, and that was the plot point, that would absolutely save all of the previous movies and make it a genius move.
The fact that this movie's called Justice League and not what's it called?
Injustice League?
No, not Injustice. What is it? They have what's the name of?
Are you talking about Dawn of Justice? How it should have been called World's Finest?
No. In the Elseworlds, they have the Justice League, but they have a different name.
Justice Society or something?
Yeah, it's like Justice Society or something like that.
The Justice Coalition of North America.
Yeah, they have a different name for them, so I don't think that's what they're not going to do that.
Yeah.
It'd be fantastic if they did.
No, their big mistake was putting Zack Snyder in charge of everything.
Ugh.
Like, even though he's not directing Wonder Woman and he's not directing Justice League, he's like executive producer. And he's under contract, so they can't get rid of him. All they can do is try to limit what he does. And that's what they're doing, from what I've read from inside sources, is that, like, the Batman vs. Superman scared the shit out of them. They they hacked up Justice League, not Justice League, Suicide Squad. They had the movie was filmed. they were afraid that it was too dark, and they didn't want another Fallout like the Batman vs Superman, so they reshot half the movie to be happier, and then cut the movie in half, crammed the two halves together without doing any proper stitching, and then you get what you're getting, and people are like, it's making money. It's
that
like,
makes sense.
But yeah, but I mean, it's not making like good money. It's making money in a slow end of summer market.
I really hope they have a director's cut where the actual movie is the actual movie, and because it does feel like two movies were just smashed together.
But that's also something I'm very tired of, is constantly hearing
the director's cut rated R version.
Oh, dude, you know what, man? Well, you know what they did was they filmed this as a 3-hour movie and then cut pieces out. Fuck you. That is not an excuse.
Well, they want to get the PG-13 rating. You get more people in the theater, you make more money.
Then film it as a 2.5. Whatever happened to coming out with a 2-hour and 10-minute movie, and boom, you get a full fucking first, second, third act. It's all complete. Why do you have to make it as a 3-hour movie and then cut it apart?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. You're sabotaging yourself because the first versions that people see are going to be the theatrical version. No theater ever says, hey, we had the director's cut. Nobody does it. If they did that, if they gave you two options when you went to the theater, you could either have the director's version or the theatrical version. But note, this director's cut is 3 hours long, but you're going to get more. Maybe it even costs a couple extra bucks. I'd go fucking see that. Mm-hmm. But what I'm not going to go do is see the shitty version of that and then be expected to hope that the director's version is better.
Yeah.
That irritates the fuck out of me.
They're having the problem with people not going to the movies anymore because it's really not worth it. It's getting to the point where, for me, I am only going to movies for something that
that's good.
No, not even something that I think needs to be seen on a very large screen. I mean, because
I saw Independence Day, and that was aggressively mediocre. And then we saw Ghostbusters, which we were hoping would be okay, but that was aggressively mediocre.
And Ghostbusters didn't even really need to be seen on a big screen. It was just kind of like...
It would have been nice if it was good.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, and you here have this giant-ass projection screen. I mean, a 60-inch TV nowadays is not that much.
Yeah.
It's not like it's $5,000
for $1,500.
Yeah, exactly. It used to be like a big ass nice TV was several grand, like $4,000, $5,000.
At Best Buy,
but now they're so cheap. It's getting to the point where it's like, I don't want to go to the theater and like pay $15 for a movie. And granted, most theaters now have really comfortable reclining seats, but I mean, I have that at home. I have a big TV at home. Yeah. I'm not paying $30 for a thing of popcorn and a shitty thing of soda. I have the convenience to pause it at home. So I mean, that's the problem that movies in movie theaters are running into.
See, I would disagree because I love the movie experience. I love going and seeing a movie on the big screen. Where I do agree with you is the fact that maybe it's the lack of quality in movies. I almost said games. In movies that makes people not want to fucking go.
The writing is...
Well, that's another thing.
You're seeing retreads over and over again.
If you have good new IPs, that are done fucking well, you're going to get people excited to go to the movies again.
Well, and again, that's a different factor with the movies. Besides the fact that it's just more convenient and more comfortable at home.
But see, I like having to go out and go to the movies. Like, I like the fact that I'm somewhere where it's like cold.
I'm like 50-50 with it. Like, I like going out of the movies if it's like a good movie theater with the reclining seats that are made of leather and it's comfortable and shit like that.
That's most of them now.
A lot of them now, but not all of them.
The one at our mall.
Yeah,
upscaled.
But
there's
a
new
other
movie theater like near Framingham that's called the 4D Theater, and like from what I heard Kevin Smith say, for like Civil War when there's a gun shot,
there's a guy with a gun right behind your ear.
No, the theater,
Jesus Christ,
the theater shoots like air jets at you, and if it snows, there's like snowflakes.
That's cool. Honestly, that's what movies need. They need
Disney
a more
experience.
Yes, a more interactive experience. Because
I don't like that.
Yeah, but you're also the guy that took like a long ass time to get the smartphones.
You bring that up every time
because you were Mr. Flip Phone for the longest time, and finally, after everybody was already several years into smartphones, you got a smartphone. And you're like, this is the best thing in the world. It's like, yeah, welcome, Mr. Late to the party.
I know, but my point with the whole 4D thing is the reason I don't like 3D. Because you guys do, when it's warranted, like 3D movies. To me, instead of immersing me, it takes me out. I can turn my fucking mind off and just watch a movie and boom, be into it. I can do the same thing with books. But when I'm like watching something and all of a sudden shit's set back or set forward or I've got fucking mud slinging at me or whatever the fuck the gimmick is, all of a sudden I'm not like, oh shit, Iron Man's flying around. I'm like, oh, fucking Robert Downey Jr., this is a fucking movie. God damn it.
I'll give you this. Most 3D is bullshit. A lot of them don't do it right. There's two movies. Two movies in 3D that I've ever seen that the 3D is worth it and improved the movie, and that is Gravity and, believe it or not, Jungle Book. Those are the only two movies where I'm like, wow, if I didn't see that in 3D, I don't think I would have enjoyed this experience as much. Every other movie, I'm like...
Gravity was amazing. It was like IMAX 3D.
I'd see Gravity is one of those movies that I could probably watch in 3D, but that's such a small... Like, that's like the movie Sunshine. Do you remember the movie Sunshine?
Yeah.
Like, that would probably be great in 3D. Like, those ones warrant it. You need to get that, vast reaches of space feel.
I think that's what helped that movie was the 3D, the zero gravity. But going back to your point of, just movies being shitty, and as I spit everywhere, is, that's why, dude, Netflix is king right now.
Yep.
And that's why television is king. Because, with again, we'll just use Netflix as the example right now. You can tell an amazing story with 10 to 13 1-hour-long episodes. Way better than, just about any movie. Yep. There's so many,
That's what Suicide Squad should have been. It should have been on Netflix original.
Right, how many times have we said that? We watched a movie and then we go, you know what? That would have been way better if it was on Netflix. Because you don't have the time in 2 hours to tell I won't say that. You can still tell a good story in 2 hours.
Could you tell Game of Thrones in a movie?
Right? No,
no.
Exactly. You couldn't.
You can't.
But that they're constantly trying. There's constantly movies where you're like, you know what? The concept was good. The story's good. The world was good. The execution was decent. But there's just not enough time to tell this story.
Yeah, but then you look at Netflix's Marvel shows like Jessica Jones, Daredevil Season 2, and now this Luke Cage one, killing it. Fucking amazing, binge-worthy movie.
Well, because they have 13 episodes.
But you know what? This is a relatively new thing to where you can't tell stories in 2.5 hours. A movie being 2.5 hours in itself is a new thing. They used to be able to tell. Well, it's not. They used to be able to tell full stories in the 90s in an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, but those were a standalone thing, and not every movie now is the beginning of a hopefully a franchise.
Yeah. And they're revamping all these geek properties that are immersed in detail and depth, and you need those 13 episodes to really flesh that out.
We're goddamn nitpicky.
Which, that brings me to the next segue.
Man, nerds.
Would be the Star Trek review. That should have been a Netflix original series, 10 to 13 episodes.
Well, we're going to get a new Star Trek series, and we'll get
I know,
into
but
that
this
in a moment,
movie... it felt like it should have been one of those. It felt like they cut it down.
Right, so what you saw it?
I did. I saw Star Trek.
All right. So okay, you can give your thoughts, and I'll give my thoughts because I think they're going to be different here.
Okay. So I really liked it.
Oh well, shit. We're on the same page.
The character development was great. I wanted to see more of it. The characters. A lot of the stuff that happened. Like Spock breaking up with Uhura, I wanted to see on screen. That all happened.
Uhura, not Uhura.
Uhura.
She's not Uhura.
I was on board as soon as he said Uhura.
He's like, what? Where?
I was. I checked out of Star Trek, and then I was like, Uhura! Ahoy!
I wanted to see all that stuff happen and take place on screen. They had this whole awesome, villain plot and action sequence with the little hive.
It was the most original and Star Trek-y of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies.
Absolutely. And it got to the third act and fell apart. All of a sudden you had this awesome movie and it was going along at a good pace, a good clip, but it needed another half an hour to kind of flesh out the ending. Because all of a sudden, they're looking, spoiler again, they're looking for this, part for an ancient weapon. They get it, immediately flash to the place where they want to go to destroy. And then within 2 minutes, it's done. And that's the end.
It was very rushed at the end. But so all right, so here's some pros about it. You could tell Simon Pegg, who loves Star Trek, wrote it.
Yeah,
because dude,
the writing was on point.
I love Star Trek more than both of you, and dude, there was so many little subtle bits of dialogue to the original series, like just one-off, not even episodes, just cliches and things from the original series, like. Like at the end, at the like the party at the end where Chekhov is walking by with this weird ass alien. I don't know how you're gonna have sex with that thing, but he's walking by with that alien, with the alien girl, and he's like, whiskey was invented by a little old woman in Mother Russia, and it's like yes, because in the original series, Chekhov said everything was invented by Russians. That was like the ongoing joke with Chekhov, is that according to him, Russians invented everything. At one point, when they're talking about the Franklin, the ship that they find on the planet, like, oh, this is the Franklin, can you believe it? Yeah. They don't know. It's like, what happened? It's like, nobody knows. Just disappeared. A giant green hand in space. And the giant there. That's another episode from the original series where I think it's like the hand of Apollo or whatever. So many awesome, awesome things.
This one kind of, it almost like First Contact, it kind of went in the past of the Star Trek universe and told you like that whole backstory of like the Franklin and the crew and like how that even got on the planet that they were on. And
you know what? I can even forgive the historical canon inaccuracies with the Franklin. I'm gonna go deep nerd with this. The Franklin's registry number.
Good night, everybody.
The Franklin's registry number was NX32. That's impossible. It could not be the NX32 because in Enterprise, the NX-01 is the Enterprise, and it is the first of the NX class starships. Before then, it was the first starship that had a Warp 5 capable engine. The Franklin, they said, was the first Warp 4 capable starship. They weren't NX class, so that's
inaccurate,
wrong.
sir.
That's
You're
wrong. They couldn't do it. The registry number for the registry number for the Franklin simply could not have been an NX designation. But I give them I'll give them a buy on that, because even though they weren't using the uniforms from Enterprise in the archive footage of the Franklin, they were damn close. Yeah. So I can in my head canon I go. That was the uniform before the uniforms in Enterprise. But yeah, I give it a pass on that historical inaccuracy. But that's how much I actually enjoyed the movie. What I did not enjoy about the movie was the director. You can tell this motherfucker knows nothing besides directing Fast and Furious. Because the best parts of the movie was when nothing was happening. When there was just the dialogue and the characters interacting with each other. It was fantastic. When any action sequence was going on, it was annoying as hell. He does not know how to move the camera. Every single shot of the Enterprise, dude. You didn't see it, Roy.
No, but I do have one question.
Okay.
How was the interaction between The Rock and Vin Diesel?
You know what? They might have been on the ship, but a lot of people died on that ship. And feel free to disagree with me, but whenever he shot, like, the very first shot of the Enterprise is coming at you, and then, like, instead of, like, I get it, like, most times the camera will, like, go up and sweep down, and you're looking down the ship as it's come in, and you're doing an overview. But no, not this guy. That's not Fast and Furious enough. So as the Enterprise is coming at you, it's coming at you straight on. The camera turns, it twists, it goes up the pylon of the Enterprise, goes under the hull, up around the saucer section, does a spin, goes over the warp nacelle, turns back around, shoots back up to the Enterprise and into the bridge.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's why I'm wondering, like, during you saying that...
Go on a skyscraper onto another skyscraper.
It's like, stop.
I just see The Rock. I see The Rock or, like, Jason Statham or something like that, like, jumped out of, like, the sideways, like, ah!
That was my biggest complaint with the movie. Everything is shot like that. The action sequences, they're too dark, and he just threw the camera in a washing machine.
Yeah.
I could not tell what the fuck was going on. And then my other biggest complaint, and this is, I don't even know if it's the biggest spoiler because they already ruined it in the trailers, but the like the little drone ship things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work as like a hive mind almost, and again, spoiler alert, they destroy the Enterprise at the beginning of the movie. So,
is there a movie where the Enterprise does not get destroyed?
Second one.
Enterprise.
It almost does, but it doesn't.
Was it the one with the whale?
No,
space whale.
It was already destroyed. The Enterprise was destroyed in Star Trek 3, the original Enterprise.
Okay.
In First Contact, you went, "We will not destroy the Enterprise."
I feel like we've seen it happen. Like it's not.
No, it was a big deal.
We draw the line here.
It was a big.
That wasn't bad, man.
It was a big deal in Star Trek 3 because it was the original Enterprise. Because the Enterprise in the movies isn't a new Enterprise; it was a refit version of the one from the original series.
Yeah, but I just feel like we've seen the Enterprise is not only just a legendary name. But it's just a legendary ship.
Well, that's why I didn't
class or whatever it is, and I just feel like we've seen it in movies get destroyed at least 3 or 4 times, haven't we?
Twice.
That's it.
Yeah, the original Enterprise gets destroyed in Star Trek 3, and the Enterprise D gets destroyed in Generations.
But then in this movie, that's 3.
Well, these don't count.
I just said 3. I said 3 or 4.
Yes,
I'm 3. I'm
yes, 3. So it gets destroyed in this one, and again,
it's not like you saw the Falcon get destroyed.
I don't know how you felt about the Enterprise getting destroyed.
I felt nothing.
Right, I felt nothing either.
Because like I said, it's not like the Falcon. The Falcon you grew up with.
And I have to think about that. Like, they're making these new Star Trek movies for the new generation of fans who have never seen Star Trek, definitely never seen the original series or maybe the old movies. So, I don't know how, 18, 19, 20-year-old kid is going to have a reaction to the Enterprise getting destroyed in this movie. I don't know if they're going to be like, oh man, the ship's destroyed. Because J.J. Abrams, I think they're calling this the Kelvin universe, is the official name for it now. And they never gave us an opportunity to
get attached to it?
Yes. The Enterprise of old was a character in its own right.
Yeah.
Like the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, so in Star Trek 3, when Kirk sets the self-destruct on the Enterprise and we see the Enterprise get destroyed, I want to cry. Because in Star Trek 2, Spock dies. And then in Star Trek 3, the Enterprise gets destroyed. It's like, stop hitting me in the feels! It's sore! But in this movie, the Enterprise gets blown up and I'm like, that was quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, it almost got blown up in the last one, and I'm pretty sure it almost got blown up in the first one. So it's...
Why did I think in the last one it did get blown up?
Because it like
crash into like the
planet? There was a different one.
It almost fell into the planet.
There was a ship that looked like that one, only huger.
In black.
It was huge, and it crashed into the planet.
It was huge and black, and it almost crashed.
So that's not... the Enterprise getting destroyed isn't really a complaint of mine for the movie, but it's just like a... My second biggest complaint, besides the director's terrible camera work, is the code, like the radio signal to destroy, like to disrupt, and for some reason destroy all these like millions of little ships. Because like the way to destroy the Enterprise is like they essentially ram into it. The shields can't stop them, and they literally fly through the goddamn thing. Like they cut off the nacelles.
Sort of like
they
people flying into space and shit.
Yeah, like
that sounds cool.
I think only 20 people survived the Enterprise's destruction.
They were like a giant mass swarm of Halo dropships.
Yeah.
Just like, and once they like smashed into the ship one at a time, like little Halo people came out and started shooting everyone.
No, some smashed and cut through. Others just lodged themselves in and then like let a dude out.
3 dudes out.
Whatever. Cool. So, but they figure out to destroy them, they disrupt it with like a radio frequency. So they use the Beastie Boys, which again in itself I don't have much of a problem. Yeah. Which
why is that so funny?
Watch it, and it's even funnier because I think it's supposed to be taken. I don't even know how seriously it's supposed to be taken because they set out the frequency and like. As they're flying through them, you hear, like, sabotage. And, like, oh, sabotage! And, like, all the ships are blowing up in the wake of the Franklin, which they have now commandeered and made work again. And it's like, it's like, boom! Leaving just, like, a trail of little exploding ships while the music's playing. And, like, at one point, like, Bones even goes, are they playing classical music? I'm just like, what? But the dumbest part, and again, it goes back to your point of how they like just ended it so quickly. The space station that they're trying to save. It's like, we have the radio frequency. I punched it in, play it, and they blare it, and then all the ships explode, And then...
How much did the Beastie Boys get paid for this movie?
Well, they played Beastie Boys in the first one.
The one line that stuck out in my mind from that movie was Bones going like, looks like an intergalactic snow globe. It's just ready to break.
He's the best Bones. And even though that station was, the Yorktown was insanely impractical, I just chalk it up to the
Fast and the Furious?
No. I just chalk it up to the technology in this new timeline is clearly, influenced by, the events of the first movie, because they even at the time the Next Generation, they could never ever make a space station like that thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that when I saw all those little drone things, I only saw the trailer once. I'm not huge into Star Trek. I used to like Next Generation. But when I seen all those little drone things, my first thought was like, oh shit, maybe they'll do something like the Borg, you know what I mean? Like all this like hive mind stuff. Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't sound like they did that at all.
No, I mean, there were definitely their own unique villains. They were sort of the Borg. They were all machines, except for 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they did look like Halo. Like, every time they show them, I'm like, Halo. Because they looked like the elites, kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and they even had like blue laser bolts like the elites.
They have those needle guns.
Yeah, except they were blue. Yeah. But yeah, it was overall, it was a good movie. And I'm gonna give it 8 fucks.
Wow, that's a high fucking score.
I would not recommend seeing it in the movie theater, and certainly wouldn't recommend seeing it in 3D. But when that thing comes out onto like Netflix or home video, watch it or buy it. It's the best of the 3 J.J. Abrams movies, and I give it 8 fucks because a lot of Simon Pegg's love for Star Trek came through in the script writing, and it was already a really great cast. If anything, I'd say Chris Pine is the weakest cast member of all the...
He's Kirk, right?
Yeah. He never sold me on being Kirk.
See, he did sell me when he was doing the training thing that he cheated on. What do you call it?
The Kobayashi Maru?
Yeah, the Kobayashi Maru, and he was like, shields to maximum and tell the other ship to, take the survivors. Like, he did that same, like, Kirk impression, and I was like, you gonna do it the whole movie? No, you're not gonna do it the whole movie.
Well, that's the thing, because he does it every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes he'll deliver a Shatner line, and you're like, yeah, but he never keeps it up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hold me. But the dude who plays Spock is a great Spock. The dude who plays Bones has got to be, he's the best.
Yeah.
Simon Pegg as Scotty is great. Poor Chekhov, who died, does a great job. And I felt even sadder watching this movie because he had such a bigger role in this movie.
Yeah, when you saw him, you're like, aww.
Yeah, like, no, right. My first reaction, when I first saw him, I'm like, that's a dude that died. But then, like, he's a big player in this movie, and you're like, fuck. Yep. You just keep reminding me that he was crushed by his own Jeep.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sad.
But, I mean, the little tribute to Leonard Nimoy and the original cast,
yep,
it was great. Love went into this movie, and so that's why I give it 8 fucks. How many fucks would you give it?
7.5 to 8 fucks, definitely.
Right, so we're in the same. We're in the same.
It's definitely the best movie I've seen so far this summer, besides Swiss Army Man, which is a different kind of movie.
So now it makes me sad because they're already making plans for the next one. And they've recast Thor as Kirk's dad to come back in the next one.
Yep.
And Simon Pegg's not writing it, so I'm afraid.
Oh boy.
So,
and if Thor's in it, that means he's in another reboot kind of like movie thing, and he's gonna make it bad. He's gonna make it bad.
I have a feeling it's going to be a time travel / time displacement type thing.
Okay, but you gotta
do it right. Can you imagine it's actually Thor though? Mortals!
The Enterprise just shows up at Asgard.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's another thing. I don't know if it's supposed to be time lapse or what, but they build the Enterprise A in like 5 minutes.
Like this time lapse.
I couldn't tell. I'm like, does this station build ships really fast,
No,
or is this a really poor time lapse?
You just warp it in and it's in pieces.
It's like, oh, we have no ship, and then you see like, and they build it like Legos.
It was like that Matrix like pan, and it was just like them assembling it super quick. That was definitely time lapse.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that it takes at least, even with super crazy technology, a year to make a starship. Like
I would assume more.
But like
I would assume it would take 3 to 5 years to make one of those fucking things.
I think
based on the size alone. I mean,
I think in original canon it takes the development of a ship takes several years, but once a class is down and they know how to make them, it takes a year to make them.
Oh, wow, that's not much at all for something that big.
Welcome to the 24th century.
Jesus.
Well, 23rd in this movie, but either way,
definitely a must-see for the summer.
It's good. Again,
best movie of the summer, you think?
So far,
best movie I've seen this summer. I mean, I don't know. You saw Apocalypse. That was man.
That was good.
Yeah.
I'll definitely give that an 8.
I'm trying to think what other movies came out this summer. Like,
I really wanted to see that Lights Out movie. I was going to go see that today, so I can give you guys something.
But that's a watch it at home and get freaked the fuck out kind of movie.
Yeah.
The next
did
movie.
Did you see the short film it's based on?
No.
Oh, it's fucking great.
The next movie I'm going to see is Cuba and the Two Swords.
Two Strings.
Two Strings. That's the one.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
So
I hear great things about it.
I heard it's visually beautiful. And the story is somewhat predictable. So all right. So while we're still on Star Trek, how you mentioned that this movie should have been like a TV series.
Yes.
Well, there is going to be a TV series that's premiering at the beginning of the year called Star Trek Discovery. Mm-hmm. What do you know about it? You know anything about it?
Nothing.
Okay. Well,
a teaser trailer with a logo.
Yes. Up until
awful looking shit.
Oh, it's terrible. The Discovery itself is the ugliest Starfleet vessel I've ever seen in my entire goddamn life. It's look up Ralph McQuarrie Star Trek concept art, and you will find the ugliest. It looks like a white Dorito with a flying saucer and 2 toilet paper dispensers attached to it. That is concept art for I forget if it's either The Next Generation or Star Trek Phase 2, which eventually became the motion picture when they were trying to get the original series going again, and the network's like, no, we don't want another show, but you can make a movie because Star Wars is popular. So they clearly used the concept art for that Enterprise for this ship called the Discovery, and it looks
now generally
terrible.
I really like McQuarrie's his art. You know what I mean? His what's the word I'm looking for?
Concept art.
Thank you. His concept art is usually it's beautiful.
Right.
In this case, when you see his art version of that, it's not good.
No, it looks like something he did drunk one night. Like oh shit, I got a deadline tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it isn't good. Like, say what you will, if you're not a fan of Next Generation, but I do love the D.
Yeah,
that's
you
Enterprise
do love
D.
the D.
Do love the D. Huge fan. I was gonna break out into a Tenacious D song too, but it's looks powerful. You could tell that it's got that giant saucer portion, but it's smooth. It's got graceful lines.
Huh.
You know, like I really like the Enterprise D.
It's funny because I think the D is the ugliest of all 6 Enterprises.
See, I don't. I like it the most. You know, but then you see this fucking thing.
Well, this is an Enterprise, but
well, whatever this, what is it then?
I don't know. It's a new show. This is a brand new class of ship, and believe me, I know all my Starship classes. I will find out what this is when they let us know.
Awful though. It just does not look good.
No, and the show, I don't know. All we see is the trailer, the teaser trailer. The ship looks terrible. So what we know about the show so far is that it takes place 10 years before Kirk's 5-year mission on the Enterprise,
which already is kind of iffy because you have to keep the continuum going throughout all the shows.
Well, that's the thing. They're like, oh, we're going to bridge the gap between Enterprise and the original series, and it's like, why? Why? We don't need to bridge that gap. It's like a 60-year gap, but why? I want Star Trek should not be going backwards. It should always be going forwards. So I wish the show was taking place after Star Trek Nemesis, like continuing on into the future. Jump 100 years into the future again, like they did with Next Generation with the original series.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because the sky's the limit. They've already set up through Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine several different possible futures that are all pretty awesome. So you can come up with something original, or you could go with a template that you've already set for yourself, which would be great. I haven't seen all of their original shows, like Marco Polo. I haven't seen that.
I hear that's amazing too.
Peaky Blinders was good.
I didn't get to see that yet.
And obviously House of Cards and Orange is the New Black.
How do you people have enough time to watch these shows? There's so many of them.
Late at night.
Yeah,
what the fuck, man?
We don't sleep. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the Star Trek, but
I don't have much hope.
I mean, I have hope because the guy who is the showrunner is a veteran of Star Trek. Mm-hmm. He wrote on Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. He knows his shit. He like Simon Pegg, he loves Star Trek. But I don't have much hope with it being on CBS or whatever. And then that brings me to another quick topic, is scrolling the headlines for shit to talk about here. I saw, the movie The Lost Boys?
Yeah.
The old 80s one with the vampires? Do you like that movie?
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Right?
Yeah, what about
Which one?
Yeah, Lost Boys. Listen, pay attention. We're on a podcast.
No.
No, you don't like it?
It was okay.
Oh, I love it. That's
good
what we have to do for Master Geek Theater at some point in
I
the
thought
future.
we were doing Masters of the Universe for Master Geek Theater.
I said it's one that we have to
Okay.
do for Master Geek Theater. And listeners, when we have that set up, it's a treat that you will certainly enjoy. And we'll have more details on that in the future. But Lost Boys, I love it. That's one of my favorite 80s bad good movies. And I saw that they're making a television series based on the Lost Boys. I'm like, fucking A! I will totally be down with a series, if it doesn't even need to be the same vampires, just set it in the 80s in California, and what I loved about the vampires in that movie is they didn't give a fuck. They were ugly, and they broke dudes in half. So, that's a good show. I mean, that's True Blood-esque right there. And then I saw it's going to be on the CW.
Aww. So it's going to be teenagers.
It's going to be a bunch of pretty people.
Angsty motherfuckers.
And there'll be no violence. Didn't they already make that show, The Vampire Diaries?
Yep. And it was okay. That was a much better Twilight, but...
Yeah, but a much worse True Blood. It was like True Blood without the violence and the sex, and Twilight with a story.
If you don't have violence and sex, what's the whole point of vampires?
Right, exactly. That's why I got
cool shit about vampires.
I was so excited.
They kill things.
I was so excited when I saw that, and then I'm like, CW, fuck, I don't care what people say. I cannot get into Arrow in the Flash. I tried.
I
tried
Arrow. It got way too whiny.
I like Arrow up until halfway through season 2. And then it was just too angsty. They tried to make him too Pretty Boy Batman.
Yeah, I couldn't even.
Ugh, no, and then everybody started knowing his
I've seen the meme. Yeah,
there was 12 people. He was just I'm Arrow. It's come on, man. Who the fuck else are you gonna tell?
That's another thing where DCU's dropping the ball. Should have had the Flash TV show intersect with the movie in Justice League. That way you have that.
Like Marvel with
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
and that kind of stuff.
Intertwine them all.
Yeah, I don't know.
You fucked it up.
I couldn't finish the first season of Arrow, and I couldn't get past the second episode of Flash.
Really?
Even though everybody says Flash is better, I couldn't. It's just I can't stand that format that CW shows have. Yeah. It's on the Flash, the one of the several hot girls is a lawyer. You're 21 years old. You're not a lawyer. No lawyer looks like you. I'm sorry.
Wow. Wow, that's...
What do you mean, you people?
Independent female lawyer.
Yeah. It just takes me out of it because you're only ugly in a CW show if you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
And even then, you might not be ugly if you're human.
No, because all the girls are oh my god, he's so dreamy. I need to like the bad guy.
I can't take it. It just takes, even though it's a comic book movie show, and it has a talking gorilla that I will enjoy. I can't get behind all the young pretty people.
The thing I don't like about them, and this is just obviously nitpicking past all the major points I can't stand the actual what they wear. What they wear
it's all trendy shit.
It looks no, not their clothes. I'm sorry, the heroes the costumes. Okay. They look stupid. They just do Arrow, at least when he first started, wore all black, and his thing that was cool is that he killed motherfuckers in the beginning. He just pumped people full of arrows. He was you have failed this city. And he just shot an arrow through your fucking head. And you were just, bang, dead. And it wasn't until, like, I think the end of, or closer to the end of the first season, where he was like, I can't just kill people anymore. They have to stand trial, this and that. And then I
don't even remember why he, like, just came to that conclusion all of a sudden.
Some CW producer.
Yeah, something dumb.
But, and then he got, like, his actual green outfit, and it looked fucking stupid. Before that, it was a lot closer to, like, Daredevil, when he has his black, just the black fucking shirt and pants that he wears.
Yep.
And the head thing. The bandana or whatever. But then he gets into his costume. He's not as bad. He looks kind of cool. You know what I mean? Daredevil.
Oh, he looks even better in season 2. Like, he got a new costume.
Yeah, I saw. But I still prefer his,
just the black.
The black with just that simple black bandana. Reminds me of the dreaded Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
You know?
That kicks ass.
Yeah, but that CW shit, it's just, everything looks like it's made out of, like, bulky rubber and just, ugh.
Yeah. I haven't seen Supergirl. I hear that's the best one out of all of them.
See, to me, it looked like it was going to be the worst one, because it looked cheesy as shit.
I don't know. Everybody said The Flash was good, and I couldn't stand it, so we'll see.
I haven't given it a shot yet. I'm nervous.
The Flash?
Yeah. At least he looks cool when he moves in the new Justice League movie, in the trailer.
Yeah.
When he's like...
He's almost like stepping into another dimension kind of thing.
Yeah, he moves so fast.
Isn't that what the Speed Force is? Like, sort of another dimension?
No, it looks awesome.
Yeah, I never got the whole Speed Force thing.
Yeah, I'm not a huge DC fan. I don't understand the mechanics of it all.
So. That's the verdicts. The reviews.
I think that might be all that I got. Anybody? The Rock says that the Jumanji reboot is not a reboot. It's a continuation.
Okay.
Isn't that what this...
Zathura?
Yeah, Zathura was supposed to be the same thing, right? It's a
like a standalone
no, it's a
thing,
sequel,
but
because it's supposed in the books they're connected because they're
both board games.
Yeah, the board game, you actually see the board game Jumanji like in a park somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they just, it's a pile of games, and you see Jumanji there, but they're like, let's take this Zathura game. This sounds cool.
So the universe that they're establishing is that every board game is this demented, haunted fucking
not every board
hellhole.
Game. Not every board game, just these few games.
I'd hate to play Monopoly in that world.
You'd be bored to sleep.
Fucking Donald Trump.
This little hologram comes out. You're fired.
It's gonna be great. My hands are perfect.
I'm gonna get out of here. Gonna get you some elephants. They're gonna be huge.
How did you guys all... I want a party platter. All of a sudden, you got JFK.
Say ciao to Frenchie.
You guys channeled your inner JFK from that.
It happens.
So is that it?
That, I think, is it.
How long did we run?
This concludes our first broadcast.
This concludes our first episode of the Modern Retro.
You forgot the name of the podcast.
I forgot the name. I spent 3 years saying a different podcast name, so it's gonna be hard getting used to the new podcast name.
Yeah, and we'll get more into it. Things will get more streamlined. Our conversations will. The more we do this, the better.
We've already done it 3 times this one podcast.
Yep.
Hey, that means there's just plenty of extra bonus content for you, the fans, when we set things up. There's a lot that's going to be set up in the future. I don't even have a website to give you right now, but you can go to the Facebook page, which is the Modern Retro Facebook page. I was trying to think if I have a podcast on there. Again, all of our social media and everything will be set up. You can email us any questions or fan mail at modernretropodcast@gmail.com. The website is Modern Retro Podcast.
Want to try that one more time?
No, it's been so long since I even looked at it. Ignore everything I just said.
Hope
you enjoyed the show.
Ignore me!
And we want you to join us regularly. And we hope you had a good time, because we always have a good time doing it.
Yeah, it gives us an excuse to get together, drink some beers, eat some fancy cheese bread.
Cheese bread.
And yeah. All right, so we will see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Enjoy.
Peace.
On the bridge, ma. Drop it like it's hot. Spock. Drop it like it's Spock. Drop it like it's Spock. When the Klingons try to get at you, fly it like it's Spock. Fly it like it's Spock. Fly it like it's Spock. When Kirk is giving attitude, pinch it like it's Spock. Pinch it like it's Spock. Pinch it like it's Spock. Got Starfleet on my chest, my Enterprise is the best. Don't need a phaser cause my sun and eyes do the rest. See these Trek fans, see the ship deck, see my